Will, the Rugby World Cup 2011 Legacy Programme, tell me what it entails.
Well, what we've done in partnership with RNZ 2011 and the New Zealand government is allocate all of the equipment that was used by the 20 participating unions at Rugby World Cup 2011 throughout the Pacific Islands. A portion of the equipment was distributed amongst the provincial unions in New Zealand, and a portion of it was allocated to the 13 member unions of the IRB and FORU, the Federation of Oceania Rugby Union member unions here in the Oceania region. All 13 members have received equipment. The 11 full members of the IRB, which range from the big unions such as Fiji, Samoa and Tonga, right down to our smaller member unions such as Niue, will all receive quite a deal of equipment, including scrum machines, tackle bags, contact suits, tackle seats, and field equipment such as goalpost pads and line markers. And then other equipment such as hit shields and tackle bags and the like have been distributed to the associate member unions such as New Caledonia, Wallis and Futuna and American Samoa. So all active rugby unions within the Oceania region will be receiving this equipment, and it's going to go a long way to developing not only the high performance programs within each of those countries, but the community rugby programs as well.
Now, the programme began in the Cook Islands last weekend. Tell us about that.
The Cooks have been one of the first member unions to receive the equipment. It's quite a remarkable achievement. It's got to be said, and could only been achieved in partnership, obviously, with the New Zealand government, but also DHL, the Rugby World Cup sponsors. Because what many people don't realise is that the Pacific Islands is a very large region. The Pacific Ocean covers, I think, 1/3 of the surface area of the world. So getting this equipment across such a diverse and a spread out region has been quite a logistical exercise, and we're great that we have partners like DHL who've been able to do that and who cover the cost of doing that. So it's taken quite a while to get the equipment out to the unions, but it has started arriving, and we were able to hand over that equipment to the Cook Islands Rugby Union last week in an event that coincided with the hosting of the FORU AGM in Rarotonga.
And there were some celebrities on show, weren't there, including the Rugby World Cup itself and Jerome Kaino?
Two very popular institutions, I guess, of our game visited Cook Islands last week, and Jerome Kaino, who donated his time to come out and parade Rugby World Cup around the Cook Islands. It's the first time it had left New Zealand since the All Blacks lifted the trophy in 2011, and it was quite a remarkable sight. I've got to say, the New Zealand High Commissioner boasted that the live site that he set up in Cook Islands last year was per capita the most popular live site in all of the world. I think 10% of the world of the Cook Islands population turned out to watch the Rugby World Cup final at a live site that was set up in Rarotonga. So they were very proud to have Rugby World Cup arrive in Cook Islands and to have it presented by one of the players who played, I think, every match of the All Blacks campaign in Rugby World Cup. So that was a great spectacle. A parade was held down the main street of town and culminated in a civic reception in the capital, where Jerome Kaino handed over the equipment together with the New Zealand High Commission to the Cook Islands Rugby Union and presented Rugby World Cup to the crowd. And it was an opportunity for the locals to have a photo taken with the Webb Ellis Cup and to see it in the flesh, so to speak.
Just on a general point, Will, these seem to be very exciting times for rugby in the region. Is that your take on it?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's an accurate observation. Obviously, World Cup being won by New Zealand is great for rugby in New Zealand, but also great for the region. And the legacy of that victory, I guess, and of that tournament is being spread throughout the region as we speak. And the equipment, as I said earlier, is going to make a huge difference to rugby programs throughout the Pacific Islands. And I think, again, and I've made this point before, but, obviously we're starting a new Rugby World Cup cycle, but we're also at the beginning of an Olympic cycle, and the inclusion of Rugby Sevens into the Olympic program at Rio 2016 is hugely important for rugby in our region. Rugby Sevens has a very rich heritage in the Pacific region and the Pacific Islands in particular, and of course the Oceania region have a history of excellence in Rugby Sevens. So it's a genuine medal opportunity for the Oceania region and the Pacific Islands in particular. And so there's a growing sense of excitement as we head into this next 4-5 year cycle. And, I think as a region, the era, I guess, that we're heading into, or the new dawn of Olympic rugby or Olympic Sevens in rugby together with New Zealand Rugby World Cup has created a fantastic atmosphere in the region.
Well, long may it continue, Will. Thank you very much for speaking to Total Rugby.
Thank you, Chris.